Thank you, President Victor, for those kind words. I'd like to begin by thanking my parents and sister for their undying support, and my late grandpa, or Pa, as I called him, for being the single greatest role model I've ever had. I would also like to thank the various mentors I've had at Mercyhurst, but specifically Joe Howard, Sarah Allen, and Megan McKenna. I wouldn't be standing up here today if it weren't for your guidance, mentorship, and wisdom over the past 4 years. I'd be remiss if I didn't also thank all the amazing mothers who have allowed us to hijack the one day of the year that is supposed to be all about you. Happy Mother's Day. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you, the members of the class of 2019, for allowing me to speak on your behalf today. When President Victor told me that I was chosen as the Carpe Diem Award recipient, I wondered how on earth I was going to write a speech that captured everything it means to be a member of the graduating class of 2019. After racking my brain for some message, some theme that could tie the past 4 years together with a neat little bow, I eventually fell back on the words and work of Catherine McCauley, founder of the Sisters of Mercy. A fitting place to begin, given that none of us would be here today were it not for her vision, her ambition, and her mercy. Catherine McCauley once said, "We can never say it is enough," when referring to acts of mercy in this world. This sentiment is one that lives in the spirit and actions of Mercyhurst as an institution, along with all of its staff, faculty, and I would argue, most importantly, its students. Our time at Mercyhurst has been a time of renewal and change. Our class had the opportunity to experience the very first Hurst Day, a brand new core curriculum that provided us with an exemplary liberal arts education, and a series of campus improvements, such as Ryan Hall, and most recently, the Roost. A decision by President Victor that has nearly bankrupted me, along with 75% of the graduates in this room. Beyond traditions and campus improvements, we have all experienced overwhelming successes as a class. For the first time in the over 90-year history of Mercyhurst, our men's basketball team advanced to the Elite Eight, giving the #1 team in the country a run for its money. We hosted the Icebreaker Tournament, officially tying with the University of Notre Dame's Fighting Irish. And even though I'll be attending Notre Dame for the next 3 years, I will always cheer on Hearst athletics above all others. Outside the realm of athletics, our academic, arts, and extracurricular successes abound and are too numerous to be articulated in this speech. Despite the individual and group successes we've had at Mercyhurst, there is one accomplishment that each and every one of us has in common. And that is when in our sophomore year, we broke the Mercyhurst email system and all participated in the email apocalypse after one of our classmates somehow managed to reply all to a residence life email. I would argue that all of our successes at Mercyhurst are inextricably linked to the fact that Mercyhurst has challenged us to never be content with the status quo. Mercyhurst has instilled in all of us the belief that we can never say it is enough. This belief has challenged us to push past every expectation that has been set for us so that we would be prepared for life beyond the gates. However, it is not our successes, although there are many, that define us as a class. Rather, it is the spirit of compassion and mercy that each of us has exuded over the past 4 years that makes the class of 2019 truly unique. Ever since I was introduced to the story of the Sisters of Mercy and the profound impact they've had on this world, I have striven to walk with mercy, serving as an example for the values and legacy of the sisters. I believe each of us here at Mercyhurst has an obligation to honor the work and mission of the Sisters of Mercy in all that we do. And I believe that this class, the class of 2019, has answered this call with enthusiasm and dedication. Over the past 4 years, I have seen students hold a door for what feels like an hour, just to make sure the person walking behind them does not have to open it themselves. I have seen students swipe their friends into Egan on a regular basis because they were experiencing food insecurity. And I saw students welcome a significant number of friends into their home when the power went out in the winter, just so they could have a warm place to stay for the night. Many of us are concerned about what is going to happen now that there are no longer any sisters working full-time on campus. We are concerned about how the mission and legacy will live on for the next 10, 50, and 100 years when there may be fewer sisters present in our communities. And my answer to this plight is to say, let's not be overly concerned, because I see sitting in front of me over 600 young professionals who are ready and willing to live lives that honor the Sisters of Mercy and the work they have done and continue to do in our community. And on top of that, I see hundreds of family members who raised us to be kind and caring individuals. Family members who may never have known they were instilling in us the values of mercy before we ever set foot on Mercyhurst campus, but were nonetheless. And lastly, I see a number of dedicated faculty, staff, and administrators who are committed to educating future generations of Mercyhurst students to be just as, if not more, merciful and kind-hearted than everyone sitting in front of me today. A wise man and mentor of mine once said that we here at Mercyhurst stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before us. That is, all of the experiences we've had here at Mercyhurst would not have been possible were it not for the extraordinary women that made Mercyhurst possible. The giant Catherine Macaulay, who defied every societal norm by going out into her community and actually serving those in need. The giant Frances Ward, who brought mercy to the Americas. And finally, the giant Mother Borgia Egan, who defied the odds and founded Mercyhurst. I could go on and on about these amazing women, but the point I am trying to make is that we are all a part of a larger narrative that was started nearly 200 years ago. A narrative that ultimately made the world a better, more merciful place. And now, each of us has the opportunity to add our own contributions to this story. And I have no doubt each and every one of us will rise to the challenge. I'd like to conclude in the same place that I began, with a quote by Catherine Macaulay, who said, "The simplest and most practical lesson I know is to resolve to be good today, but better tomorrow." The liberal arts education that Mercyhurst has provided us has prepared us for the complex and ever-changing world we are about to enter. Mercyhurst has instilled in us the values of service, hospitality, compassion, and most importantly, mercy. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Mercyhurst has provided us the necessary foundation to be good today. Now, it is our responsibility to go beyond the gates and be better tomorrow. So let's go. Let's go and improve ourselves. Let's go and improve our communities. Let's go and improve the world. And while we do all of these things, let us never forget to Carpe Diem.